So hi everyone, welcome back to the Sewlebrity Soft Pants Stitchin'. I'm Pam from the Stitch TV show. I'm joined by my co-host Lynn.
Hello everyone.
And our new friend, Patience Griffin.
Hi everybody.
So Patience, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Well, I am the author of the Kilts and Quilt series, which is about a group of quilters in small town Scotland and some of the things that they can get up to. I was raised in a very small town, a town of 600 people right on the Mississippi River. And so when I speak of small town life, kind of know, I lived it. So kind of know what I'm talking about. And I wrote on one bio somewhere that, everybody mucks around in everybody else's business, which is true. You couldn't get in trouble without everybody knowing about it. So yeah, and I've always been a seamstress. My grandmother probably taught me before I could walk, had me at a sewing machine. When I went to kindergarten, she set me on her lap and I used the knee thing and I sewed my first jumper for kindergarten. She did all the hard stuff, but I didn't take up quilting until my late 30s. And because no one ever gave me a quilt, and I decided if I was going to get one, I'd have to make it myself.
Very cool. So your Kilt and Quilt series, how many books are in it?
There are 6 books so far. I am writing book 7 right now, Blame It on Scotland. And I don't know how many is going to end up being in that series. I am writing a connecting series. I have a novella for it called The Laird and I, and so that has been out for a while because I'm going to start combining these 2 little towns.
Yes, I'm very in love with these little towns. I just want you to know, such a fan. I'm ready to move to Gandygow and hang out with the quilt ladies.
Even Didi, the old matriarch.
I think I'd get along with Didi. I do. I think she'd like me.
I tell you, I enjoy writing her. I am not Didi, but I hear her talking to me all the time. Like she says the things that the rest of us wouldn't say and do, So she's a lot of fun to write. A lot of fun.
It reminds me of Downton Abbey's The Dowager.
Yes.
Got that, just lay it out there kind of thing.
Exactly. Well, and it's funny because when my first book came out, and my cousin, she doesn't read romantic women's fiction, but she loved the book. But she left me a phone message when she first started reading it. She leaves this phone message. She says, "Okay, I've seen Grandma. And I've seen your dog. Who else am I going to see in this book?" So my grandmother was a little bit like Didi, a little bit.
How fun! So you're currently what are you currently working on or designing quilt-wise?
Okay, so quilt-wise, I just completed this last weekend. I completed Hannah's Gandygow fish quilt. Can I show that to you real quick?
Absolutely.
I'm working on the pattern. I actually have a pattern designer who's going to write the pattern up for me. I had done my other patterns, the ones, but I don't know if we can get it all. But
yes, that's perfect for that book.
So that's Hannah's quilt. So I just finished. I was really happy. I'm going to do a little bit of stitching work around the boat. I want to add some. I'm going to hand stitch some netting or something around there so it can catch the fish. And I am designing 2 quilts right now for book 7. One of them is going to be called the Goodbye Quilt. The other one's True Colors. And so I've been working on those. And I'm going to get some help from the pattern writer. See, here's the deal: is I love designing, but writing patterns, I'd rather write a book. I mean, like a great big book than write a little pattern.
Yeah, we have a friend who can hook you up, so we'll
okay.
Offline.
Good.
I have found that there is nothing like trying to describe how to put a quilt block together to make you forget how to use shapes and words and math, and you're just like, sew the things together, and it's a bigger thing, and like ridiculous.
Well, I have to tell you, so I made Gandygow. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the book here. I'm just sliding here, like just Sliding back and forth here. Okay, so I made Gandy-Gow for myself, and then I posted it, and everybody said, well, where's the pattern? Let's see if I can get it up there.
Oh, I like it.
Okay, so that's Gandy-Gow. So I started writing the pattern, and I got hooked up on doing the half square triangles. I could not write the pattern for that because I was worried of plagiarizing. So I got completely stalled for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And I was at a quilt retreat, and another designer was there. And she said, Patience, go over there, make some half square triangles, and write down everything that you do while you're doing it. And that freed me up. And so I got the pattern done. It's out on Etsy. So yay.
So all your patterns that go with the books are on Etsy?
Yes, they are. Now, for the first 4 patterns that are on there that go with the first 4 books, those are designed by Cynthia from Iowa Star Quilts, and she is a professional quilt designer, has been doing it forever. I fell in love with her stuff. She used to have a shop, and I used to go in and buy her patterns. And so when my first book was getting ready to come out, I wrote her and said, hey, I would love for you to design some patterns for me. So she's done the first 4. She's working on number 5 right now. And so I've just picked up and did some of them. Pam Martin did another quilt. Get you another quilt?
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Don't talk when she shows it, because then the focus goes on you instead of the quilt.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So is the Christmas tree in there? Is it showing okay? I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Is it okay? So the Christmas tree, Pam Martin, she designed this one, and I love this. I made this out of the bright plaids, and it's just like one of my favorite things. It's going to stay up all year long because, first of all, anything that's plaid, I love, but the bright plaids are just so much fun. So.
Yeah, I've seen the Christmas tree pattern on your blog. I saw the picture of it there, and I was like, oh, I like that.
And I made it shorter because it really, I think it goes 9 feet or 8 or 9 feet tall. Here's the deal about that. It was just one of those God things, where I was like, what quilt am I going to do? And I'd already written about who this person was in the book. And I met her. It's one of my best friends that she works with, and we all went to lunch together. She was telling me about this quilt she made. Her house is too small to put up a Christmas tree. So she made this quilt for herself, and she'd already written up the pattern, and she taught it several places. And I was like, oh, Pam, this is so perfect for my book. So anyway, I was just really, really excited that she, blessed my series with her pattern.
Well, I tell you what, since I have read every book you've written, because I've read the entire series and I've read the novelette, what is it called? Novella. I've read that too. Actually, I listened to him, but I still think that counts as reading. I love seeing the quilts because I'm sitting here reminiscing about, oh, that's so-and-so's quilt from that book. So it's really neat.
It's been so much fun to be able to take some of the things in my head and get them out there. I don't know. It's just it's like having your children and parading them.
And I want to say too, Patience, thank you. I mean, I know it's romance, and it's a romance book, but the characters are so vivid and so rich, and the town it's a relationship that you establish with these characters. I mean, I can't say that there weren't major tears for me a couple of times in those books. And my husband looked around, I'm crying, and he's like, what's the matter? I'm listening.
Well, I tell you what, especially the first book.
Oh,
there was I had a lot of trouble writing to be able to see the screen because I'm upset about what's going on too, or I'm happy about what's going on too. But when I got contracted with Penguin Random House, and my editor there, she wrote me and she said, she goes, I have read your book 4 times now. She said, and I cry every time. She's like, I know what's going to happen. I need to tell everybody it's not a super sad book. It's just, there's just a place that kind of.
But you fall in love with these characters and the journey that they've gone through. So that's, I'm ready to move to Gandy-Gow. I'm serious. So.
Me too. Yesterday on Facebook, somebody posted a village that's for sale. I mean, actually for sale, and it's like 1.2 million pounds, and it's like, can't we all put a little money in and get this? That would be great.
So Patience, when you're making your quilts you're designing, do you have favorite techniques that you like to use?
You know, I didn't realize it, but I think I end up, I'm kind of folksy. You know, I mean, I look at my Candy Gal quilt and I'm like, oh, that's pretty folksy. And my fish one, I'm doing a modern quilt coming up because oh, spoiler alert, there's a character that's a modern quilter. And so I guess, I don't know, you know, when we talk about the techniques and stuff, I got to tell you what I'm really into right now. I mean, if this is any consolation, I'm really into in the hoop stuff right now. So I've been making little bags.
Oh, right.
And these don't have anything to do with quilting except for I'm going to be giving some away, you know, in the future to different people. This is one for my son because he's really into Harry Potter, and I made, put his little name on the bag. There's Harry on there. I made his wife one of the Star Trek ones. See, we're kind of a Trekkie family. So anyway, but as far as techniques go, I'm sorry, I kind of got off topic there for a second. I made a lot of t-shirt quilts, and I really enjoyed doing those. And so I made a lot of them for the family. When my two older children got married, they wanted t-shirt quilts where they, and so I've done a lot of those. I've been commissioned to do them. I don't do them anymore for anybody besides just family. But anyway, that's just some of the things that I do.
Okay, now this is the interview where we ask weird questions, but they're kind of quirky. So if you were headed to a desert island, and you could only eat 3 foods for the rest of your life, but of course they have all the nutritional elements that you need and stuff. What would be your 3 favorite foods that you would take?
Okay, so the first 3 things that pop into my head, and so nutritional value, I'm sorry, it's not going to work, but I love potatoes. If I hadn't married PhD, Spud and I would be walking down the aisle together because I love potatoes. I know they're not good for you. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing that popped in my head is I do love broccoli. So potatoes and broccoli I'm good with. And the third thing is not a food, but it's absolutely an essential, and it's something that I'm constantly eating, and that's my Burt's Bees lozenges. So if you see me anywhere out in the real world, say, Patience, let me see your Burt's Bees, and I will pull these out. So I have to have these on the desert island, okay? Can't go anywhere without them.
I didn't expect that one. Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
This episode brought to you by Burt's Bees.
See, I should be asking for endorsement stuff. Right?
So if you had a yacht to get to this supposed desert island, what would you name it?
Oh, I think I'd have to go with like my favorite thing in the world. How about Pretty and Plaid?
Ooh,
you like that?
I think that's a good yacht name.
Yeah. You know, kind of, it'd be me. That's for sure.
Can you paint a boat plaid? I don't know if there's maritime regulations. My husband works on airplanes, and I know you're not really supposed to paint an airplane blue because it'll blend with the sky, but I don't know if there's like similar things with boats. Can you paint it plaid? Does that work?
I don't know.
You know, I don't know. You know, I've seen like the cars that have been wrapped in the plaid, and I've never seen a boat. So now I've got to go look for that now.
You know, we live next to the lake. I'm going to have to start paying attention.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So this is my question. Pam always makes fun of me for this one, but so when you're quilting and you make a mistake, and you know, what is your favorite non-cuss cuss word?
Okay, so I hope people don't take offense, but I really like the word frickin'. I get mad and I'm just frickin' this and frickin' that, and I think that that's really good because I have 4 brothers, and you can imagine, you know, 2 of them were military, and And I went to college with a bunch of guys from the Navy, and I learned all their bad sayings, like to remember the different the resistors, because I'm electrical engineering for my undergraduate degree. So I learned all their bad sayings, and you know, they're horrible sayings, nasty sayings, but you do remember them when the test time comes. And so I think frickin' is not such a bad thing.
It's not. And I went to Georgia Tech in engineering school, and I can attest that yes, there's things that you cannot unhear.
What kind of engineering did you do?
I'm mechanical engineering.
Mechanical. Fantastic. Are you still?
You know, I really applied in my marketing career. I went on to get an MBA, so I work in business in addition to doing this. But yeah, it's didn't want to spend the rest of my life looking at the tensile strength of screws. So I was like, well, junior, if I change majors on out-of-state tuition, my dad's going to kill me. So I'm going to just get my degree.
And it's such a good school. Such a good. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, a PhD was home at lunch, and we were talking about the strength of springs. You know, because you know, I guess that comes up in everyday conversation. You know, it's
yes, you do, right? Yeah.
It came up last week for us because we have this mini rebounder trampoline in our basement that my daughter jumps on. And we were moving things around, and I'm like, oh, well, some of these are getting stretched out, or we should replace them. And he's like, I'll go to Home Depot. And I'm like, I don't know if they've got the right kind of spring. Like, what's the strength and how big are they? And he's just looking at me like, they're springs. I'm like, no, they're not. I got an engineering degree that says otherwise.
Pull out those equations.
Oh, deaf bods. Sorry, I got to see in you. Okay, so we know you write awesome books, but do you listen to books, music, movies? What do you do while you're stitching or creating?
Well, I like to listen to music while I'm sewing. I can't. Okay, I love audiobooks. I mean, okay, maybe I would marry them instead of Spud. I don't know, but I love audiobooks when I'm driving. But I can't listen to them while I'm sewing, because what happens is I stop sewing and I just sit there and dream, you know, and that doesn't get anything done. So I listen to music. And so the thing I'm doing lately is my brother passed away 12 years ago, and I've been going through his CDs and listening to them one at a time. It's a great eclectic collection that's just
neat.
You know, classic rock or you know, just everything you can imagine. So that's been really, really cathartic. And you know, sometimes I cry. You know, sewing and crying doesn't go together either, but that's life, you know.
That happens, sewing and crying. I can show you the quilt where it has some tears from your books on it.
Okay, I need to grab a tissue. See what you guys did to me here. Here, let me get my tissue. Okay. All right. We're good. All right.
So, maybe that's at me, but every time I watch Con Air, I cry at the end. So
oh, I love that movie. It was just on, like last night or the night before. I was like, oh, it's a great movie.
Put the money back in the box.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You guys are cracking me up.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. There we go. We're good.
Okay, so here's a pro tip that I discovered in my 20s. So I was getting ready to get married. I was a little stressed out. I was getting my MBA, working full time, sewing my wedding dress, planning the wedding. And I would just get stressed out at work. And I worked in an office downtown professionally. And I would just like kind of burst into tears. And I'm just working with all dudes that are like my dad's age. So when I felt the need for tears to come on, I would go to the ladies' room, and you go in the stall all the way at the end, and you just flush the toilet to cover the sound of your crying. And then everyone thinks you've got horrific diarrhea, and they won't look at you and notice that you're all puffy with red eyes. That is my pro tip.
I love that. Well, again, you should have told me this, 20 years ago would have been great. That would have been great.
Well, now we can share it with the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So one more question about your books. So who is your audio book, the voiceover talent?
Oh, her name is Kirsten Connor, and she is fantastic.
She is fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Well, she just won, and okay, so well the book / Kirsten just won. Let's see, where's the book at? I guess it's back there. It happened in Scotland, got an audiophile earphones award for narration because they were just blown away with her. She's so good, and she also she's an actress on top of this, and she does video game voices. I got a letter last week from a reader who was just like, you know, Patience, do you know who your narrator is? And I was like, oh yeah, you know, and she said she's like telling me that it's her favorite voice in League of Legends, the video game she loves.
Oh, fun.
I was like, oh, so I copy and pasted that and sent it over to Kirsten because, you know, I mean, it's always good to get an added girl. She is just wonderful. I love her.
Oh, I really enjoy. I mean, I think a bit, because I listen to books too, a voice can make or break sometimes a book. So
Oh yeah.
Adds to your book completely. It's beautiful. So
I agree. I totally agree. Big kudos to her.
So give us your social media handles and websites and all that stuff where people can find you and buy your books, that kind of stuff.
Well, my books are everywhere, first of all, which is good. But you can go to my website, which is patiencegriffin.com. And I am on Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook. I'm too active on Facebook. Spend too much time there. And I'm Patience Griffin author there, or you can just friend me at Patience Griffin. And then I am on Twitter at Patience Griffin. I know there's a theme going here. And Instagram, it's something with Patience Griffin. I don't know if it's Patience Dog. I should have looked this up because all my stuff automatically is supposed to go to Instagram, you know, because I need to learn to do that one better. That's one that I'm playing with now. I'm trying to do better.
Well, we will get them all listed in show notes to go along with us so people can link and find you, and we'll link to your books as well. Any other, I know you've got a quilting tour coming up, but it's sold out.
Yes, we're going to Scotland. It's the Celtic Quilt Tours, and we go to the Scottish Quilt Championships and quilt shops, and we take class with Scottish quilters. Also, I go over for a couple of weeks by myself ahead of time, and I always crash the sewing group in the little village I stay at. They've been lovely to me, you know. So yeah, got that going on. I'll be at Houston in November at festival, and let's see. The only other thing is let's mention that I would love to give away the first book in the series, To Scotland with Love. And so if you'd like to go out to my website at www.patiencegriffin.com, there's a contest button on there that's plaid. It's red plaid and it says contest on it. So click on that and that'll send you to a page where you can enter for that.
Awesome. We will put a link to that in the notes for this. And then I think we can also do it in the YouTube description where the video gets posted.
Perfect. Perfect. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, it's been so great to get to know you better, Patience. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.